Whoa, 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 whoa. Damn right, I'm a UPK nigga. Straight out of one West, no contest. We the best to the niggas that's living, trying to contend with the stress. Going through the test, no access, cause you oppressed slaves. Niggas is dying off in waves. Living in dirt, now it's a grave. Niggas cross-talk through the crosswalk or the white chalk over the bodies of roads that you paid. America's killing us, saying they fearing us. Put the drugs in the hood, now my niggas delirious. Put a gun in my face, all because of my race. Click, boom, flash, put some Skittles and murder my ass. Like a sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never dipping in water. So now we pray to the Father. Give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauder. This fucker taking our daughters, nigga, it's wartime. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, go time. Either boot up, shut up, but get your ass up. Cause we ain't got time to be playing this all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave. Reaping what you sow, meaning giving back what you gave for a clean slate. You try to imitate, you was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
Someone on the timeline, giving the rhythm to expose the intricacies of things. Vibe, who am I? I ain't shit, but getting lit is a pastime. So in a minute, I'ma pass out. I hope you get it. If you didn't, you can crash flying. Kinda simple if you feel it, past your last line. But it will confuse a bad mind. A damn shame. That's the exact thing. Gonna get your ass fried. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Then the nigga fly, hope you got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Damn, the missiles high. I can see him from the parking lot. Never finna ball out. Devils finna fall out. All our warfare, nightmares in the brick house. They murdered us for years and thinking shit was gonna turn around. Pride never learned. This motherfucker burns down. Yelled in them streets. Told them to breach. All of you angels bring woe to this beast. You rule for a time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my Father, bring woe to this beast. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember them ships. They brought us in fleets. Fuck they Apollo. Bring them the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and might, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the commanding General Yohana. And as you know, if you don't know, since 1969, we've been educating Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on their true nationality and what? You guessed it, according to these scriptures. With that being said, today, if you read the title of the class, take a guess on what the best rap song of 2023 is. Well, let me go ahead and pull it up for you. Let me go ahead. We can go ahead and get that. All right, there we go. All right. So it's some things that we must talk about because I was surfing the internet, right? And I came across something very interesting, right? Came across something very interesting. I'm not surprised because based on how this world is today, and it only gets worse, I'm not surprised that Sexy Red was voted, her song was voted best song of 2023. Not surprised at all, because for years and years and years, the agenda has been for these high officials, these high elites, so like in the people that rule this earth, their agenda is to what? Push our women further into the ditch. And simply, it's so easy by allowing them to dig the ditch themselves and fall into that own pit. And they don't understand that it is a trap. They don't understand that. They don't understand at all that the things that they are doing are not the things according to God that they should be doing. You see, the Most High God does not delight in the things that they are doing. They don't. I mean, he doesn't, Salakia. Now, granted, in the scriptures, it says in Hosea, the 4th chapter, in the 6th verse, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Why do we have sisters in a situation like Sexy Red and Krishan Rock and, you know, Jocelyn Hernandez? Who else? Somebody else. You know, I can't really think. Glorilla and all these other females that are high in status, right? The reason is multiple reasons. But for one being the reason, they don't know who they are. That's why Hosea 4 and 6 is so heavy. They don't understand that their life has more value than the value that they created here on this earth under our oppressors being captive under them. You see, it's only a certain extent that they go to because that's all that they see themselves as. You know, our sisters only see themselves as tattooed up rappers acting like they toting guns with the big chains and the grills and that, etc. And rapping about foolishness and or violence, especially towards your own brothers and sisters. See what I'm saying? And then make songs like F my baby daddy, F my grandma, F my dad, all these types of things. And it pushes the wrong message to our young ones, to our little ones. But you see, America, that's America. You do these things and there's no consequences. Because in the end result, by her doing those things and acting the way she acts, it is only detrimental to her and our nation. It's not detrimental to the so-called white man or the Middle Easterns or the Arabs. It's not detrimental to them. It's detrimental to us. Because what? They know who they serve. They got their own guys. They got their own culture and everything. They do their things. But as for us, we don't know who we are. We don't know our culture. And everybody always say, well, we're from the motherland. We're from Africa. No, we're not. We're not Africans. We're not from Africa. That is a complete and utter lie. And the only reason why people say that is because people take the story, don't know the full background of when we were taken from Africa. That wasn't the original place we were at. The only reason why we went into Africa because we were fleeing Roman persecution. We were in Rome at the time, then came down to Africa. And no other place to blend in with other brown people. Then when those people came to get us, the Africans then sold us to the white man again. Then hence after that, the transatlantic slave trade then came about. And of course, the so-called Israeli man funded that. And then we were spread across the four corners of the earth. But we are not Africans and not from Africa. And everybody likes, I know my culture, I know this. Then how come you don't do the things that Africans do? How come? How come you don't partake in their culture? Make it make sense. How come you don't stand behind a cow and drink out of its private area or let it piss on your head or take a cow's stomach and eat all the feces out or eat hyena neck and hyena ears and make clothes out of hyenas and put bones through your noses and hunt lions? How come you don't live this way? Not even just saying that, we can go to the more upscale Africans. How come you're not living in the conditions that they living in and eating fufu and eating monkey stew? How come you aren't doing these things? You say that's nasty, but if it's your culture, you would do them. You want to get back your culture, you got to get back into the roots of doing it. The reason why you won't do it, the reason why it's disgusting is because that's not your culture. And you know that's not where you derive from. If you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you derive from the nation of Israel. And it's 12 tribes that consist within this nation. And with that being said, we are God's chosen people, and we ought to be set apart, meaning holy, to not be doing the things that everybody else does, that our women should hold themselves at a certain status and have morals and principles and stand on those things to treat themselves and hold themselves as a righteous woman and not out here looking like harlots and shamefaced and shameless women. Salakia. No, to have some dignity and integrity within yourself. Have some accountability to say, you know what? I am a role model to the younger people, to the youth. I should be very careful with the words that I use. I should be very careful with the way I dress, very careful with how I deal with interacting with other brothers and sisters. Learn how to have a civil conversation as an adult and hash out the differences without resorting to violence and harming one another, as if we have not been doing that for years and years and years. When will it stop? And you see sisters like Sexy Red, you know, Krishan, Jocelyn, Glorilla, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, they all have a say-so and power in their words. And they can be the change to stop a lot of these sisters from going down the wrong path. But the reason being why is two reasons. For one, they're not going to go against the people that pay them. Especially a lot of these sisters coming from the bottom. And when you poor, you grow up in poverty, the main thing that you try not to do is go back to in that same living condition of poverty. So you're doing any and everything that them white people tell you to go and make that dollar for them so they can pay you in return and you can take care of your select family. Not the whole hood, but just your select family. And then another reason being is they don't want to mess up their pocketbook. So why would they push positivity? Why would they push positivity and not negativity? It's a main culprit. Take a look at NBA Youngboy. When NBA Youngboy was beefing with everybody in the industry, when he was rapping about violence for 2 to 3 years consecutively, his numbers went off the charts on YouTube. I'm talking about millions and millions and millions and millions of views. Now, ever since that he's announced that he's pushing peace, stop the violence, his song is only getting 1.2 million, 1.1 million. And then even if whenever he get off house arrest, even if that do happen, who knows? And he start rapping about violence again, it's not gonna hit the same. My whole thing of what I'm saying is this: the people that are black and brown, that are part of the 12 lost tribes, they have a voice to stop a lot of things, but they choose not to. Take a look at Nick Cannon. Take a look at what was the brother name that he played football? I forgot his name. I think he's a receiver or whatnot. He retired now, but he said something about, you know, us being the real Jews, as well as Nick Cannon, Kanye. The moment that you say something or try to push our true culture, they shut you down. And then what do? You tuck your tail because you don't want them to take away all your money, because you're not going to be able to pay that $50 million mansion. You're not going to be able to pay that monthly rent, that monthly mortgage, I mean. So you're going to shut your mouth and do as they say. But back to the main point at hand, right? The number one rap song based on Rolling Stone is what? Sexy Red, Ski. Now, this just recently came out a couple months ago, right? And they're saying that this is better than Pound Town, Thugging With My Rounds. They're saying this is better than that. It's like an anthem in the club. All the got doggone chicken heads and everybody go crazy. Right? Now, I'm just being funny, though. but everybody go crazy in the club. The men and the women, right? They go crazy over this song. And Rolling Stone voted Sexy Red song Ski as the #1 song of 2023. Now, that's what they did. They voted that song #1 in 2023. Now, here is what the problem is. This is where the problem is going to be at. We're going to get Proverbs 22:6. I'll tell you what the problem going to be at. There we go. All right. This is the book of Proverbs. Well, let me go ahead and share that screen. All right, there we go. We in it like swimwear. All right. So the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, and what? Verse 6. And it says, train up the child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. Meaning what? When your child is young, you got to teach them the ropes the right way. See, when a child is young, it is very key. It is very important, those first couple years of his life, that it's instilled inside of his brain that he knows who he is, he or she, that they know how to conduct themselves, that they have morality, that they have mercy, that they stand on principalities, they have respect and honor and dignity and integrity. You must instill that into the little ones, into your kids. And that's what the men in the ISUPK have been doing since 1969. And the little boys and the little girls, we have been instilling in them to let them know who they are, their culture, nationality, and heritage, where they derive from, what it means to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, the high holy days, to have morality, integrity, and honor and dignity, how to be a good husband, teaching them all the law, statutes, and commandments, what things to not eat, how to handle yourself in a situation with your brother, how to talk to him and address him in a correct way without offending him, how to talk to your sisters and treat your sisters. What is your role as the man within the household in a relationship? What is your sole duty? All these things that we teach the little ones, because we understand how vital it is, like it says in the scriptures, that you have to train up the child while they are young. And you see, Sexy Red has might in her hand. She's a woman with a lot of status. And yet, she doesn't give a damn. At least not for positivity. At least not for gathering us together. She don't care about that. She care about that money that's coming in. When you from the hood and money coming in, you don't want to mess it up. You want to be stuck back out there doing the stuff you're doing, because if you're doing the stuff you're doing, you're going to end up dead or in jail. So now she's making a way for herself. She got this money coming in, but she don't want to push unity within Black and brown communities. She's going to push the agenda that the label is telling her to push, because that's what pays her. You see Krishan Rock acting all crazy up on these shows and fighting and being all toxic and all this with Blueface and this and all this drama. Those shows sell. It makes money. That way I got up there on Zeus. I wouldn't be surprised she got an endorsement deal. They just give her a shoe deal for Puma or something. Why? Just because she just brings attention and brings in revenue for being what? A shameless woman. You think they really care? You think she cares? No, but we care, because we understand how vital it is to train up a child when they are young. When has any rapper came out recently and actually been on positivity? I'm talking about the main ones in the industry like Sexy Red. Because the ones that's not mainly in the industry, you ain't even gonna hear nothing from them. They ain't even in the door yet. But my question to you is this. Is this really the path that we want to go down again? Black and brown people, Blacks, Hispanics, and everything. Is this the path that we want to go down again? You always say Well, you know that music that y'all young people listen to, that's the way vulgar. But whoa. Now let's just say this. I'm gonna get to the young generation, right? Because I'm a part of the young generation. But let's tap into that older generation first. Because y'all started it. Like y'all, like it's saying in the scriptures, ain't nothing new underneath the sun. Y'all always say, but we've been saying that, we've been doing that. You're right. And y'all passed it down. You don't think that harlot activity and whorish activities were passed down? And type of vulgar music? I done heard some songs that was back in the day by some older people that, it was a little crazy. Now, yes, of course, it's heightened up now. But I'm just saying, y'all laid down the foundation just a little bit. Now, the young people done came along and took it and ran with it, right? Y'all used to have y'all little freak nicks. Now, we know what went on in them freak nicks. Come on now. Y'all cannot be sitting up here acting like y'all all innocent. Nah, you're just as guilty because y'all laid down that concrete foundation with them freak nicks. Now ain't even freak nicks no more. These full-on swinger parties, these full-on adult entertainment shows, these full-on OnlyFans. It getting so bad, nobody even want no clothes no more. Nobody even rap about like no love song. Ain't no regular R&B no more. Ain't no regular rap. Ain't no Missy Elliott's in the rap game no more. It's Sexy Reds and Krishan Rocks and Jocelyn Hernandez. Everybody can rap now. Everybody pick up a mic and rap. You say all you got to do is get on the mic, find a crazy beat, put a little 808s behind it. You get a music video with 30, 40 people, some girls with big booties up in there shaking their tail with a thong up their butt. And all you got to say is, I bend over and talk about how you going to be making love to a man on a beat, and you good. That's what it's come to now. Are we really going to go down this path again? But then I say this again, that in itself, are you going to accept accountability that maybe we were wrong even starting this stuff up? Back then y'all could have stopped it. Because let me let you know this. Some young people do listen to the older generation. They do. But y'all can't be over here talking about, well, y'all got to listen and talking all this noise when y'all the one that opened up the can of the worms. Everybody has to accept accountability. And I'll tell you this right now. This generation right here is even more wicked. It done got bad. You done got bad. And if you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you should have every right. You should be mad for the stuff that's going around this earth. You can't even turn on the TV and watch good TV. You can't listen to good music. Every time you get on, you got Sukiyana bending over in London, England, a Black woman bending over and what? Following the stereotype that they already attached to Black women. But yet Black women want to say that they need protection. We need safety. They need to value us. Stop looking at us like this. You're giving them every right and reason in their mind to look at you that way. And when I say them, I'm saying as the oppressors, because that's the number one people that we look up to is Black and brown people. We look at the so-called white man as what? A god to us. And if they feel some type of way, look at us a certain way, as if they already have been, then that's when you kind of, you feel you want to try to act all civilized, as they say, right? You want to try to act like you got some sense now. Well, you wouldn't be in that position to even be doing that thing or even be talked about or on these blogs or with the paparazzi taking all these pictures of you if you wasn't over there bending over in public with kids walking around and everything and acting like a plumb child. But yet you say that you want to be respected, that you want to be valued and treated a certain way and looked at in a certain manner. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm still a grown woman. You should value me. Let me tell you this. Man. We're going to get the next scripture. We're going to get Ecclesiasticus 26 and 25. This is what we're going to do. So I can. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. We're going to get Ecclesiasticus 26 and what? 25. Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26 and 25. Verse 25. All right. All right, let's get it. All right. A shameless woman. What? A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Now, what does it mean to be shameless? Take a crack at what you think what it means to be shameless. Right? We're going to read it again. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26 and verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. If you're a shameless woman, for lack of better terms, it means that you don't feel embarrassment. You don't feel guilt. You don't feel shame. Like, okay, if you were taking a shower, right? If you was taking a shower, and I'm talking for the sisters, right? And somebody broke into your house and saw you naked, you would what? You would try to cover up. Try to cover yourself up. You feel embarrassed. You feel shame. You're like, you don't want nobody else seeing you like this. Well, that same feeling that you have if somebody was to catch you naked or your skirt flip up and you see your undergarments, right? You would have shame. That same feeling, you should have that towards what? The way you address, the way you present yourself to the world. You shouldn't go out there, you know what I'm saying, with barely any clothes on. How they do on Halloween with fishnets and little Playboy skirts and your cleavage all out. And the women boobs be on hard. And it's all these kids out here. And you worried about sex appeal. But you're gonna be the same person talking about, well, I wouldn't want nobody to do that to my son. Why that teacher talking to my son? She need to go to jail. You kind of in the same position. You over here enticing little kids too. The same with the teachers that they dress in a certain type of way when they teaching kids. I'm just saying, call spade of spade and stop pointing the finger at everybody else. Stop trying to pull the thumb out of somebody else's eye and you've never pulled it out of your own eye. In other words, stop being a hypocrite, because that's what the Most High God despises, hypocrites. If you're a hypocrite, you're not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven, man. Because why? You unstable in all your ways. You're a double-minded person. Well, what I'm trying to tell you here right now is what? That if you follow these scriptures, that the men in the ISUPK are telling you, you will be what? On one accord, one body, one West. Have a sound, clear, vigilant, and sober mind. Be able to have the wisdom and understanding of these scriptures to know how to handle yourself and conduct yourself as a man and or a woman. But the way the world teaches us, you're not going to learn that way. How do I know? How do I know you're not going to learn that way? Well, as of recently, Miss Sexy Red, she got a little history. And it further proves my point, because there's a very known famous rapper named NLE Chopper. And NLE Chopper had Sexy Red on all fours. She was on her knees, both hands on the ground, walking like a dog, and had a collar around her with a chain. He had two women. I forgot the other sister name. They was walking around like dogs. How heavy is that? How ironic is that this scripture is literally talking about that? A shamefaced woman shall be counted as a dog. A shameless woman, Salakia. Meaning she has no embarrassment. Let me ask you a question. If you see a dog on the street, dog get it on anywhere. Am I lying? Dogs be trying to hump your leg while you sit in your living room. Dogs will try to have babies in the living room. He ain't got no decency to just say, hey, let me go outside so I can get it on. He do it right in front of you. He has no shame. A dog will do it out in the middle of the street while it's raining. He don't care if it's snowing outside, if it's sleet. He's slipping in everything. He trying to get up behind that female and go to town because he has no shame. That's what our sisters are doing. That's what our oppressors want our sisters to do and live and act like. And that right there is not of God. I'm telling you. Because what? Them be the same ones. I just seen an interview with Jess Hilarious and Sexy Red, right? Sexy Red says she don't mess with Jess Hilarious because she assumes that Jess Hilarious was sneak dissing her. Now, granted, the sister Jess Hilarious came to her as a woman. Yes, it was on live air on the Breakfast Club. Now, she could have went to her off the air, right? Because, you know, when you on TV, there's certain things you ain't going to discuss. And some people, some women, you know, and or men, you confront them on a live audience or somewhere where a lot of people can see, they feel tried. And some people just don't want to talk. It is, you know, whatever, bro. I make my money. I ain't got to hear what you got to say. We ain't got to come to agreement. Yeah, this and that, right? Because that's what the world has groomed our people to be, to not show brotherhood or sisterhood. But the sister Jess Hilarious was trying to talk to her and come to hash out their problems. Even though Jess said that she never had a problem with her. She just spoke on certain things and didn't agree with it. Quite frankly, there's a lot of sisters out here that probably don't agree with what Sexy Red does. But my point is that if you was even say something to her, she won't even open an ear to hear what you have to say. Because here in America, if you got money, high status, and you doing you, give a damn about what them people say. Because why? They automatically group of what people say and criticize you. They criticize, they put that in as they're hating on you. That's what they do. They say, nah, you're hating on me. That's not the case. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see if I can pull this image up. Oh, it was Sexy Red and Sukiana. Now we're gonna take a look at this. Now you see this. You see this image right here. You see this right here. This is what? Sexy Red and Sukiana, and they are sitting on all fours, and he holding them as if they dogs. This is what it means to be a shameless woman. This is a shameless woman. You should never strive to be like this. This is a shameless woman. And if you strive to be like this, you're going to be turning around talking about why is people talking about me. This is how you're presenting yourself. You're presenting yourself as a harlot. That's what you're doing. Never strive to be a shameless woman. But what does it say? But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. Shamefaced meaning that you have shame. You have guilt. You know, you fear the Lord. You have some morality. You stand on principalities. You're not finna go out there and just do stuff. You have integrity and you honor yourself and value yourself as a woman. And these women right here, Sexy Red and Sukiana, have whorish tendencies and could very well be whores. Now, I don't know what they do on a day-to-day basis. They could just be rapping about it. But just based on what they're presenting, it is whorish tendencies. We're going to go with that. So I don't want to just flat out just call them whores. But last time I checked, hey, if it looked like it, hey, you call spade a spade. Right? These women are going to be the same women that say that they are of God. They love God. No, you don't. You're not keeping the commandments. You don't love God. In the scriptures, it just says that you should be a shamefaced woman. That's how you know that you fear the Lord. That's how you know you love God. Because if you were shamefaced and you did fear the Lord and you love God, you would not go out and do things like this. You wouldn't do things like this. Let's get another one. Let's see if I can give me another one. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. This is who you promote, right? This Krishan Rock. This one she was pregnant with what is the name? Krishan Jr. or what? This one she was pregnant. And guess what? This is what we promote. This is how you want your daughter to end up? Is this how you want your daughter to end up? Looking like Krishan Rock. You see, the majority of the time why our sisters are like this because we ain't got no doggone men in the household. You know, we ain't got no men in the household. It's too many. It's too many sisters being raised by single mothers. Brothers got to start stepping up and being in these households. And sisters got to start allowing them to. Because it's two ways. Brothers just doing it and just leaving them. They hitting and dumping. Let her raise the kid. That's unresponsible, man. And that's why these sisters raising these kids and they turn it up like this. But at the same time, if a man is trying to be in that baby life, you got to allow that man to see his kid, allow that man to be in that life because it is very vital that that man is in that child's life. Very vital. Because this right here can affect you in the long run. As you see, Krishan Rock is now permanently damaged. It's going to do a lot of reconstruction to get her back to where she needs to be. Well, we have the construction right here in the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana. And that's why we go out there to and fro. We go out there on the street corners. We teach these classes very diligently because our people need to hear this knowledge. Our people need to know and understand who they are according to these scriptures. Because, you know, as much as I'm saying this about Krishan Rock and Sexy Red and Sukiana, them still my sisters. Them still our sisters. And I tell you this, I do feel sorry for them. Us priests in the ISUPK do feel sorry for those sisters. But we must tell them that what they're doing and the life that they're living is wrong according to the scriptures and for the betterment of our people. We do feel sorry. Some of them probably didn't have fathers. Some of them probably grew up in drug-infested homes and in the hood, didn't have much. Section 8 were struggling. Some of them sisters was probably touched on from somebody's sick uncle or sick auntie because they was touched on. It passed down, and now we have this generation. But we got to save this generation because this might be the last of it. We got to make a complete 360 and escape from all the stereotypes that they put upon us. We must do that, right? So now we're going to get Proverbs 11 and 14, and this is what it reads. So book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Now I'm going to break this down. Where no counsel is. Now, in the world, there's no counsel. In the music industry, there's no counsel. In the NBA, there's no counsel. That's why Sexy Red is the way that she is. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. In the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana, we have counselors. We are safe here because why? We have counselors that go and tell you and advise you that the things that you are doing is not going to lead to what? A good outcome. It's not going to lead to, it's not a safe idea. It's not good thoughts to have. Right? Now, I'm going to read Proverbs 9 and verse 13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. How many of y'all watch Zeus? How many of y'all watch the Bad Girls Club? How many of y'all watch Love and Hip Hop? Every single sister, every single woman that's on that show is a foolish and clamorous woman. What does it mean to be clamorous? Clamorous meaning rowdy, you know, always screaming and yelling, a loudmouth woman, basically, shouting and demanding, you know what I'm saying, the masculine spirits, and just don't want to listen to no man, always fighting and running their mouth and talking back. That is a foolish and clamorous woman. And that's what you see with Sexy Red. That's why she got a problem with communicating with men and women. Krishan, every time you see her, she batting somebody in the face. Krishan don't even have no conversation with nobody. She just go and sneaky, just hit you across your face. Now your lip busted up, your teeth missing. She can't even have a civilized conversation because she is a foolish and clamorous woman. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Krishan Rock don't know anything. She don't know how to be a virtuous woman. She doesn't know how to be a wife unto her husband. She doesn't know how to treat a man. She doesn't know how to serve God. Why? Because she's too busy running her mouth and don't want to listen to nobody. She don't want to talk about nothing, have a conversation about something. She don't want to be taught. She wants to live in her own world because why? The spirit of what America pushes out is what? I'm free-spirited. I'm a grown woman. I could do what I want. Girl, it's your body, your choice. Girl, you ain't got to listen to no man. You don't need no man. Then it gets to the point, well, if she ain't got to listen to a man, she don't need no man, she don't want no man, then it gets to the point where, damn, she want to be a man. And now you got all these sisters with masculine spirits upon them and why they go and act the way that they do. That's why the majority of sisters nowadays, and I'm not talking about the select few that's not like this, but I'm pertaining to the ones that obviously are like this and the other sisters that's following this path, that when she meet a man, it's give me the money, the money, the money, the money. And she gonna take everything from him like a leech. You got no care in the world. It's just all about the money and all about having a good time. I lay down with you. The dude stick his right up in her. They had their fun and she going about her way. She got 50K out this dude. Now when she come across a man, you know what I'm saying, that's a good, genuine man, she trying to do the same thing to him. Now, when she come into a situation where she's never been treated like this, she can't handle it or doesn't understand what situations that she's in. Every time she sees a sister, she can't even talk to a sister. She got to hit her across the head. That's what America pushes. And that's why the topic of the video is what? You never would have guessed that what? Sexy Red Ski was the top song in 2023, according to Rolling Stone. Number one on there, on their website. Why? Because Ski Yee shows what? Black women across the earth that this is all you're worth. Tattoos with the colorful wigs and weaves. Act like you toting guns, throwing up gang signs, throwing gang gestures, and rapping about how you bending over or how you trying to go mess with somebody else and see what's up just for the night. Throwing all the money, making it rain. Just like Pound Town. When she said, her coochie pink, her booty hole brown. What is that to rap about? Now we're just rapping about our genitals now, our body parts now. Now I got to know what type of panties you got on now too. I got to know what color your toes is too. What you use to rub on your skin, like all this extra stuff and all this vulgar and very sexual stuff that our kids are listening to. And you have the might and the power and the voice to what? Be a role model and a leader. But instead, you're taking you being a role model and a leader and not pushing positivity, not trying to join Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians together, not trying to better the hoods. You could give a damn, because once you start doing that, your checks start to run dry. You can't afford to do that. You can't, because Beyonce stays in a mansion that's worth $400 million. She's a billionaire. Her mortgage is what I can't even fathom. What Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that work 9 to 5s day to day can't even fathom that mortgage. Some brothers and sisters can barely even afford to pay $1,000, let alone $2,000 a month. They're not going to give up their spot. They're not going to give up their seat because they enjoy that life that they're living. They're going to push that agenda that the so-called oppressor is telling them to push, because it puts more money in their pocket, keeps them happy, so that they can put money in my pocket and I can be happy. Give a damn about the people in the hood. Give a damn about the Section 8 and food stamps and EBT. Give a damn about all the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian brothers that lost their lives here in America, that ain't got nothing to show for, that is the last hired and first fired, that's out there on the streets in all types of weather. Don't nobody get them food. Don't nobody get them water. Don't nobody go there and get them the right message and try to get them jobs. Only the men in the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana do that, as well as the sisters. We go out there and we take care of our people. That's what we do. Because in the scriptures, it says what? To go and heal the sick, cleanse the leopards, feed the poor. That's what we go and do. But it's for these elites up here with all this lump sum amount of money, they don't give a damn. Because once they was at the bottom, now at the top, they never going back down to the bottom. Well, I tell you what, we at the bottom and still at the bottom, and we know what it's like to be rock bottom. So you best believe that what we're going to go out there and sacrifice everything that we have to make sure other people that's at the bottom are taken care of, because that's all we got. You don't understand how strong of a message that is. You don't understand how strong of a message it would be if they built boys and girls clubs in the hoods, man. Just built a basketball court for brothers to have some type of camaraderie. Hell, build a dominoes table in the middle of the hood. Build a whole dominoes park and a spades park, and watch how many brothers and sisters come together just to have fun, just to kick it. You know what I'm saying? Take away some of the taxes. Lessen that down. Lessen down people's rent and mortgage. See how much happy we'll be. Let the top people in the world come and act like they us for once. They is us. They just make more money, but they still an Israelite. They still a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Let LeBron James come to the hood and kick it in the hood and live like them for some time, so they can be like, man, he cared. He ain't just all Sadiddy and Sabuji up there making all the millions and just don't give a damn about us. For crying out loud, the reason why all these people get paid is off of your money, the same money that you work for. Not only is you getting taxed, so you're getting money taken out your checks, but when you want to go to an NBA game, or when you want to go to a rap concert, you know what I'm saying, R&B concert, to go see her, or go see Ari Lennox, you got to use that money that you work for as if you already not struggling. And once you go and do that, they getting paid. Like, your ticket could have been $150. Dang artists walking around with hundreds of thousands of dollars after that show. And guess what? They ain't gonna give a damn about the hood. They don't care about the neighborhoods. They don't care about no boys and girls clubs or helping the community out. They don't care about feeding the poor and the needy. Why? Because America has a spirit of, hey, man, if you ain't got no money, you ain't worth nothing. Let me tell you this. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people. The Most High God looks at us in a way that is far greater than what our oppressors would ever look at us as. and far greater than what we can ever look at as ourselves as. But let me tell you this. Sexy Red, Krishan, you know what I'm saying, Beyonce and Cardi B, and the scripture says that you are a shameless woman and you should be counted as a dog. You don't have no shame. Krishan Rock was dancing full on pregnant in the club with her titties hanging out, stomach all out. You can see the girl doggone coochie damn near dancing up in that club, making a plumb fool of herself. And the white people sitting back like this. Look at her. And her shaking her tail. She just don't know who she is. And they still gonna present at it, man. White people just ratchet and ghetto. You making them believe that by the way that you acting and carrying yourself every day that you go out. And that's why it's important that if you're a brother or a sister, especially sisters, that you come into the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana. Because the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana provides safety, teaches our women how to be women, virtuous women according to the scriptures, righteous women, women that have morality and stand on principalities. Not to be striving to be like Sexy Red. I understand you live like Sexy Red, got all that money, you want to dance, shake your butt, you having fun is lit. I understand. But understand there's repercussions with coming with that life. It's repercussions when you go outside and you're half naked. Just recently, I just seen a picture of a little girl. She had full-on box braids in her head. Girl looked like a young lady. You wouldn't have thought she was a little girl. She turned around, did a little view. Looked like a young girl. At least about 15, 16. The girl's probably younger than that. Girl faced all dolled up. She had a stomach showing, a little crop top, a little tight jeans showing off what little curves that she thought she had, or whatever her mama thought. Let me tell you this, man. Dressing like that is not a very smart idea. And I'm saying that to look out for the sisters, because they got some men out here. They got some women out here that are very sick. This world is evil, man. And I'm not wishing this upon nobody, but people get raped every day. People get unalived. Women get kidnapped, especially Black women, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They target our women. Human sex trafficking and kidnapping is at an all-time high within the Black and brown community. You best believe they're trying to get you up off the map. I know you done heard that they used to make perfume and colognes out of our skin. They used to make couches and shoes out of our skin. Don't think for 1 second that just because you think you free spirited, you get to dress how you want, just because that's how they make the clothes, and you want to have some sex appeal and be sexy while when you're 18 to 25 before you reach 30s and mid 30s, and now you ain't got no man because all your life you want to have a whole phase. Don't think that thing benefited you. If anything, it made you a target. Now they're getting even younger. They ain't waiting to 18, 13, 14, dressing like the girl 21. The girl got a skirt that ain't even 6 inches. Skirt 2 inches. You see the girl whole genital area. Now, why? The girl's a little girl. Why she got her tatas out for what? The girl not even old enough to lay down with a man. But here in America, oh, you best believe they got some men out here that's evil and wicked and don't give a damn. Let me ask you a question. As a father or as a mother, what would you do if somebody raped your daughter? To answer that question, you would be highly upset. There's 2 things you're going to do. Either you're going to play the people, try to go to court on it, or you're going to seek vengeance in your own name. You're going to try to find out who it is, trying to get them knocked off. You're going to do it yourself. Because why? Doing that to somebody is a very evil, sick, and vile thing to do, especially to a little girl. And matter of fact, Salaki, especially to any woman. But best believe they got men out here that don't give a damn. Why do you think that they have maps? A map is a man that can identify as somebody of a younger age, and he's really 30. Well, I identify as 15. And now this dude, 40 years old, talked to a 15-year-old girl in middle school at the park because he identifies as a map. And America allows it. America allows it. Now, let's just say we ain't even talking about maps. Girl walking around the neighborhood, she dressed like she older, like, you know, she trying to show off her little body, right? She ain't got no curves to show off or nothing. She's a little girl, but she want to dress in tight clothing, crop top, showing off her stomach. She got piercings, because some parents let their kids do that. And now you got some man that's sick and vile. He on his last leg, and he go and touch that girl. Now that girl grows up, and now she's scarred for life. Now, the only way she copes with it, she goes around and have sex with everybody, which is the majority of sister situation that have been touched on. Or say this girl gets raped because based on the attire that she was wearing. That's why it's very important that our sisters cover up. That's why it's very important that our sisters be shame-faced, have some shame, because they got brothers out here and sisters out here that do not give a damn. See, I understand you want to have fun. You want to go out to the club. You want to wear them tight little skirts or crop tops. You want to show off your body because that's what America pushes. Be yourself. Be free-spirited. Have some sex appeal. Be sexy, girl. Go out there and show it off. That's the wrong advertisement. That right there is an advertisement of the wicked when the Most High God wants you to be covered up. Now, I'm not saying that that can't happen because there's still some sick people even though you covered up. But you're lessening the chances. At least you're obeying God and rather than obeying men. Because men tell you to go out there and dress half naked. That's why I got all these girls is OnlyFans and corn stars. You know, the adult entertainers. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram, every time you look, is everybody in two pieces or indoor thongs. Because that's what pays. The sex appeal. And who's buying into it? The men, the brothers are. Now you got to step up and stop partaking in those things because what are you doing? You're very detrimental to the nation of Israel. You're hurting our sisters because our sisters now believe that if they dress like that and act that way, men like it. No, what you're doing is lusting after them. You don't really desire those women to be with them. You're lusting. And that's what the so-called oppressors want, for you to lust after them, to like and look and spend money on them. So that way they think that this is cool. And now they got all our sisters in OnlyFans, being corn stars, aka adult entertainers, selling their bodies, selling all types of, you know, vulgar, crazy pictures, all for the love of the dollar. And now when she's 35, 45, she ain't got no kids. And that's all the oppressor wanted. For you to not bear children. For you to get as many abortions as you can, so that way your womb and your uterus is messed up and you can't have kids. To be on birth control all your life because from 18 to god doggone 25, the world told you to have your whole phase and go out there and sleep with everybody. That's what they want. See, the scripture says to be fruitful and multiply. We ought to be expanding our nation. But our sisters too busy out here doing these things because they follow the agenda of the oppressors, and our brothers are feeding into it, making that agenda stronger. When are the brothers going to step up and say, I want a virtuous woman, not a whorish woman? And then you wonder why you in that situation that you in, why your baby mama like that. And she hopping from rod to rod to rod to rod. Because you're desiring whorish women. When the scripture says to desire a virtuous woman. And that's what the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana since 1969 has been building. Virtuous women, righteous women, according to the scriptures and according to God. Women that have morality, integrity, and have honor. Women that follow God. Women that listen to their husbands. Women that listen to the men in the Bible and hearken into the wisdom of what's coming out of their mouth. Women that seek counsel, not women out here having whole phases, dressing like harlots, and they want to play victim when something happens to them. When you could have very well lessened the chances of anything happening to you if you had what? Hearken into the words of the Most High God, right? Let's get to this next scripture. Revelation 18:10. I'm going to break this down. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Meaning what? This is talking about the fall of America. If you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, woman, and or child, you should be rejoicing and saying, Kwam Yasharala for the fall of America. Because if not, we're going to have more products of Sexy Reds, Krishan Rocks. And your daughter could very well be one of them because America is going to try to push her to be that. But in the ISUPK, we're fighting to what? Stop that. We're fighting to tear down America because America is no longer good and it's not done good to any of our people for millenniums. And if you were wise as a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and or woman, you would rejoice in the fall of America. America's falling now. The so-called dollar bill is not going to be nothing. It's losing its currency and value. China is over there forming BRICS with Russia. They trying to form their own currency and start their own stuff. America has been a bully to every nation on the face of the earth and stuck their foot in every nation, every city, every land, every sea on the face of the earth. They have taken, raped, robbed, and pillaged of every person and every nation on the face of this earth. Not only do Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians realize that the so-called white man is the so-called deceiver of the Bible, well, all these other nations are. And all these other nations look at our people as people of the dirt, of the dust. Because why? We follow everything suit here in America. Let me tell you something, man. I be hearing what the older people say when Sexy Red come on. They say, boy, what doesn't happen with these young folks? They getting out of hand. And you dang right. You're damn right they getting out of hand. Because the stuff that they pushing is astronomical. It's crazy. Like I said, though, the world is getting worse and worse and worse. And I'll tell you this. Following the ways of Sexy Red, Krishan, you're not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven doing that, man. Now you're going to get dealt with the Lord. Y'all always want to say, well, only God can judge me. Let me let you know this. You would rather the men in the ISUPK judge you before God judge you. Because see, our judgment is correction. Our judgment ain't how the Lord's judgment is going to be. See, we ain't going out here like how it was in the Old Testament, stoning women to death and men to death. No, we ain't doing that. That's why Christ came, to die for our sins. We get a second chance. We ain't got that authority to do that. But when Christ comes back with the 200 million angels, that's going to be the Lord's judgment. It ain't going to be the judgment that we trying to give you here now. See, our judgment is correction. The judgment the Lord is going to give you, the judgment Christ going to give you, some people's heads going to be in the streets. Some people's heads going to be in the sewage pipes. Some people's legs and femurs going to be on top of skyscrapers, and your doggone lungs and your ribs going to be somewhere in Africa. You're going to be torn apart. You're going to be judged. It means you're going to be unalived. You're going to be thrust through. And we're trying to edify you to let you know that stuff you're doing ain't right according to God. That whole phase ain't nothing good. Y'all walking around here acting like y'all happy, but deep down, you know, every day you go home, you taking medication because you got HPV, you got AIDS, you got hepatitis C. Because all around you want to go around and slang cat from rod to rod to rod and be like Sexy Red. Every weekend you want to go to the club and get blackout drunk, listen to Sexy Red in the club while you hit your little pen, which you're really smoking a battery, and black out. And then go home with a dude for the night. And the next day you do it again and again and again. Then when you hit 30, you're complaining about that you got some incurable disease. You can't have no children. You wish you would have had kids. You're lonely and you got 9 cats. And all your life you trying to figure out the next day if you're going to die. Because you know the life that you living is not right according to God. Now you're not a Christian no more. Now you join the Islamic faith. Now you're not a Muslim no more. Now you're going to be a Buddhist. Now you're going to try to be practice Hinduism. You go floating around instead of what? hearkening into what the ISUPK and the Commanding General Hunter, because this is the truth. This right here will fix all the problems that we have in black and brown neighborhoods. It will. It just really will. Like I said before, you train up the child while they are young. That's what we're doing here. In the little boys and the little girls that's coming up in the ISUPK, coming up in this truth, it won't no sin. The men will know how to conduct themselves. The sisters will know how to conduct themselves. They know their culture and heritage and nationality. They know how to handle themselves. They know how to hold themselves accountable. It would never go out there and be a shameless woman. Because why? They understand how important it is to listen to God. They understand. That's what we're trying to get the sexy reds of the earth to realize. Sisters, you don't have to be sexy red. Don't strive to be sexy red. Don't strive to be Krishan Rock. You ain't got to pop off on everybody and hit everybody else in the face. You can have fun and have an eventful life and be drama free. Because I know a lot of these sisters that's young that's coming up, you got to have some life that's just full of events. They got to have action. You got to get in a fight. You got to hit about 3-4 girls across the head and bust their lips, send them to the hospital, send them to the gulag. That's what you got to do. You got to smoke weed. You got to have one phase where you smoke them batteries, you know what I'm saying, till your teeth fall out or till you're anorexic skinny. You ain't got to do all that. You don't have to go through that type of depression and that type of life. Nah, you can totally miss that obstacle and come on this narrow path and stop leaning towards that wide gate. And wide gate, all type of stuff happen. You think I'm lying? They had people flying to Dubai just to go and get defecated on for $30,000. That's the type of world we live in. And guess who was doing it? Black and brown people. Brothers and or sisters. Why? Because when you grow up in poverty, you'll do anything for that dollar. Let me tell you something, man. The things that you're going to inherit in the kingdom of heaven, thus saith the Lord, are going to be far greater than what you can amount to here in America. When Christ come back, it won't be America no more. America's going to be destroyed. America will be just finished and desolate. It's going to look like The Walking Dead, man. It's just going to look post-apocalyptic. You're not going to recognize America. And if the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will be put back in our own land over there in the Middle East, the entire Middle East, what we got, where you can live in harmony and peace. Well, we'll have music how it used to be back in the good old days, man. Well, our sisters will have morality and be shamefaced. It won't be, none of that stuff you've been seeing. It ain't gonna be none of that twerking. You know what I'm saying? So, I just seen a video. This woman was twerking on this dude. He's a YouTuber. Her son seen him twerking. Seen her twerking on that man. That scarred the little boy for life. But you see, you come to the ISUPK, the Commanding General Yohana, you'll understand what to have morals. To be a shamefaced woman, that you'll never do that again. Your body won't itch to do it. Because I tell you what, nowadays, when that sexy red come on, the song don't even start. They already singing the lyrics. They can do the whole intro, the beat and everything. And when they come on, they just can't stop their body from twerking. It just in them. It just be itching. Just get them moving. That won't be none of that in the kingdom of heaven, man. We'll actually have good quality music to listen to. Our sisters will be trained up in a way that is righteous, as well as our brothers. You won't have to worry about, brothers looking at sisters in a lustful way or trying to, force himself on her. Touch up on her, molest her, or little boys. It won't be none of that, man. And that's what we're striving for, because our people need that, man, in our communities. Every year, every day, a little boy and a little girl is getting touched on. And they grow up to be hypersexually active. They grow up to be very, very odd individuals, very antisocial individuals. And the way they express themselves is a way that you could never even fathom. Why? Because it starts when they're children. And that's why it's very key, like it says in the scriptures, to train up the child in the way that it should go. Like it says in Proverbs 22 and verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he would not depart from it. That's key. You're going to tell these young brothers, hey, man, don't go over there touching on women, man. You'll be groping her and molesting little girls, molesting a woman, touching a woman, or forcing yourself on a woman. You know what I'm saying? Don't go be touching little boys. Don't go over here selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? Don't go over there and inciting our sisters to live a life that's wrong. Don't just go and lay with that woman, impregnate that woman, and leave her to raise that child for herself, and you never to be found. Understand? Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't go and beating on these women. Don't go and beating up on your brothers, man. All those things are necessary, and you're going to teach them while they're young. So when he gets older, he knows that it's never going to leave him because it's instilled in him. And you know how I know that's true? Salaki, take a look at your parents. Your parents are the way they are because they were taught like that from when they were kids. The reason why your mother and your father is the way that they are, they have them old school ways, because it was taught to them while they were kids. The reason why our generation is like this is because it was taught like that from when they were kids. Now they have some people that's in this generation that were taught the old school way. They have morals, principalities, respect and honor, integrity and dignity. They have those things. They have those traits, right? Now we're going to put it all into one. We're going to train it up to be righteous, honorable men, shamefaced sisters. You know what I'm saying? People that abide by God's word, keep the high holy days, and keep all law, statutes, and commandments. And that's what we're striving to do, because once you do that, you'll see how better the community is. If blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians didn't have all this filth that's going on in this world, and we had righteousness in our communities, you know how strong we would be? You know how our sisters would get along, and our brothers would get along, and our children would get along? You know how beautiful it would be for our nation to desire to want to marry within the nation and keep the nation strong? How hard we would fight to keep the high holy days, how hard we would fight to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Understand how vital that is. And while they're young, you better tell them. You see, the young men, the little boys and little girls, and the young girls in the ISUPK, they don't know what Christmas is, man. They don't know what Thanksgiving is. They don't know what Valentine's Day is. They don't know what the New Year's and President's Day and Veterans Day. They don't know what that stuff is. They know what the Passover is, and the Feast of Purim and the Feast of Tabernacles are. They know the law, statutes, and commandments. They know not to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. They know not to touch on little girls and touch on little boys. They know about the alternative lifestyle, not to partake in that. They know those things because they are taught while they are children. So when they get older, they have kids, they'll teach their kids, and their kids will teach their kids, and so on and so forth. They'll have an everlasting life. That's life. That's living. Living within what? The wisdom of the scriptures. Living in truth. The truth. And that's what the ISUPK is pushing across the four corners of the earth. And that right there is the biggest threat to ever hit the face of the earth. That's why every time they shut us down, they say we black extremists. The black Hebrew Israelites are pushing their agenda and message. They're radical individuals. They know nothing. They're aggressive and mean. Dang right. We are aggressive with this truth because this is our culture. This is our heritage. And it was stripped from us, and we are taking it back. And not in what a nice way. No, we coming to take it back with authority. Thus saith the Lord. And now that we are pushing what? The truth across the four corners of the earth, that's the biggest threat that ever hit the face of the earth. Because nobody on the earth wants to accept the truth. Everybody wants to continue to live in their life that they made up of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. When we're telling you that, hey, you have to be a complete halt in that life that you're living and turn away from America. Take your spirit out of America, like it says in Revelation 18:4. To be not partakers of her plagues, nor her sins. Come out of her, my people. Take your spirit out of America. Sexy Red and Sukiana, All y'all, take y'all spirit out of this place because it's destroying you. You must put your spirit in what? Put your spirit actually in the truth, within God. Put your spirit within the nation of Israel. Build up the nation of Israel and see how strong we get. See all that money Sexy Red making? Only if she knew that if she come and serve God, that amount of money is not going to be amount to what she can inherit and be able to obtain in the kingdom of heaven. She don't even understand that we're going to have gold, and gold is far more valuable than money. You're going to have more than gold. You're going to have a land. Forget 40 acres and a mule. You're going to have 1,000 acres, 20 cows, 100 mules. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 chickens. Come on now. 1,800 lambs. I can go on and so forth, man. When you come to serve the Lord, you best believe that He gonna look out for you. But it's about time that we start looking out for the Lord. And how do you do that? Show that you love Him. How do you love Him? How do you show it? By keeping the law and His commandments. For the love of God is keeping His commandments. If you don't keep the commandments, you are sinning. Sinning is transgression of the law. Transgression of the law is sin. But do this. Keep the law and His commandments. Don't strive to be like Sexy Red. And I'm not saying this that she's always been that individual. She could have very well turned into that by following what? The spirit of America. But guess what? You can't, I'm not even going to fully blame that that's all a Sexy Red character, like I said again, because she's just following the agenda. She could be just following the agenda, right? But don't follow that agenda that she is pushing. Don't be Sexy Red and ski and shaking your tail off in the club. Nah, cover yourselves up, sisters. Have some integrity. Have some morality. Cover yourselves up. It'll save you in the long run. It'll save you from a lot of problems that you won't have to deal with within your life. Come follow the law and commandments truly. You see, all our sisters, they be spiritual, right? Come join the ISUPK. You want to be spiritual for real. You want to be connected to God for real. You want to be serving God for real. You want to go to heaven, right? Let me tell you something. I don't know if you know, but in the scriptures it say that in heaven is going to be gold paved streets. I remember a time in the scriptures, like it said, our sisters didn't even walk on sand. Sisters going to be getting carried around in the kingdom of heaven. You talk about being treated right, showing somebody that you love them, honoring black women, Hispanic and Native Indian women. They ain't even going to walk around and touch the ground. You're probably going to be sitting up somewhere in a mansion. You're going to be getting grapes fed to you. Or, you know, I know another thing. I know our sisters like to get their hair done. Don't it cost about $200 for a wig, sew-ins? Hey, you're going to be free $99 in the kingdom of heaven. Don't you want that? Any hairstyle you can imagine. Free? I know our sisters value their hair, having their hair done. Oh, I ain't forget about the manicures and pedicures. The manis and pedis, as y'all say, getting your feet and nails done. Some of y'all sisters spending about $100+, maybe $200. You go in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to have the Vietnamese doing your feet and nails for the free ski. And you ain't going to have to pay for it. Because that's what comes with serving God. And that's what you get to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will have rulership under Christ. Brothers going to be flying around in UFOs going to Neptune, in Uranus, in another galaxy, probably the Snickers galaxy, in the Three Musketeers in another galaxy, in the Kit Kat galaxy. I don't know what the names of them are, but it's plenty of more to be seen. Flying around in UFOs is the world called. You know what I'm saying? Have a lump sum amount of gold. You're gonna have a mansion that got 1,000 bedrooms, and you only be in one bedroom. 1,000 acres of land, and you ain't even explored all of it. Imagine the things that you can inherit by serving the Most High God, brothers and or sisters. See, what they push in church is not what heaven's going to look like. The rapture is not real. No. but the day of the Lord is. The rapture is not. I know revelation is real, and revelation is not a pretty sight for a brother and or sister, and for the kids. That's why you got to train them up right. That's why you got to follow the law, statutes, and commandments and strive to be perfect like our Father is in heaven. Just like Christ said, strive to be perfect. Show that you want to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Don't you want rulership? Dang. For how many years have our people worked in blood, sweat, and tear to build up America, man? Still to this day, I'm looking at you. You have a 9 to 5. Still to this day. And you work 40, 80, probably 120 hours a week. Sometimes you work 6 weeks on and 1 week off. 6 weeks on and 2 days off. You working like a Hebrew slave to build up this kingdom further for our oppressors. While you go back to your nice house, but guess what? It ain't as big as the oppressors. So to them, it's a little house. They get to go home, and he got 100 acres of land, 10 cows, F-150, F-250, and an F-350. He making about $7,000 to $10,000 a month. He living good. And he owned the company that you work for. He the CEO. He gets to live how he wants because this is his heaven that we built up for him. They get to talk to you any type of way. They get to do and break all the laws and rules, and no consequences are thrown upon them. Are you not tired? You're not tired of waking up every day, trying to make ends meet, check to check, to take care of your family? Are you not tired of being the last hired but first fired? Are you not tired that you have to act and look a certain way just to fit part to get the job or to be accepted in this community? Are you not tired that agendas are forced upon you, that you can't say nothing about the alternative lifestyle, even if you don't agree with it, because you'll lose your job, or you're seen as you're homophobic or you're a hater? You're not tired of all this false stuff that they pushing upon you just so you can live here? Let me tell you something. In the kingdom of heaven, that's going to be Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians heaven. We're going to have a heaven where we can play dominoes all night in the middle of the road. Ain't no curfew. Where the Mexicans and the brothers and the Native Indians can drink Coronas all night. You can have a spades table. You can come down the street and blast your Impala with them 26-inch rims and them 12s in the trunk as loud as you want. And ain't no police going to do nothing to you because we're going to police ourselves. You can have a spades table and yell as loud as you want. Ain't no Karen going to call the cops in their neighborhood. Why? Because this is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians kingdom. Not the white man's, not the Hawaiians, not the Arabs or the Middle Easterns or the Asians. This ain't their kingdom. Their kingdom is every other country they own. And they having their fun. They having their way. Now it's time they work for us. Now it's time we take back our culture, heritage, and nationality. And now it's time we have our way, thus saith the Lord, but righteously. Don't you want to have a big block party? You stay out there all night and no cops came to mess with you? And you got the lamb on the grill, you got the burgers, the hot dogs, the steak, the chicken, the leg quarters, and we just playing spades. You got some bottles out there. You playing some dominoes. They playing board games. You playing 2K in the house. Listening to good old music. Do you not want that? Do you not want to have a mansion with 1,000 rooms that you've never been in? We're talking about stuff that you can't even obtain here in America, but you can obtain them in the kingdom that's about to come. But you got to show that you're worthy of it. How do you do that? Just keep the law, statutes, commandments. And with that, this is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. I know you never would have guessed that Sexy Red Ski song would be the top song of 2023. That's an agenda and a message that they pushing to degrade our Black and brown sisters. But in the ISUPK, we are here to push this message to say we're tearing down that agenda, that our sisters, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are some of the most beautiful women and most precious women to ever grace this earth. Thus saith the Lord. Your life is way more valuable than what America makes it seem. And if you think so, then go and fight for your culture and heritage and nationality. Now, With that, we're going to get the security announcements. Give me one moment. All right. Where we at? Okay. ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves of the world. If need of any transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. Brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, which also can be found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and also in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara, 10% of any penny, of every penny or any increase the Lord gives you. Salakia. Give the Treasury Department a teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation. All right. Upcoming Holy Convocation that we have coming up next is what? Now, we just finished with the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. Upcoming Holy Convocation is the Feast of Purim, 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. Thursday, February 22nd, and also Friday, February 23rd, 2024. This can be found, this particular feast day can be found in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. The book of Esther is in the Apocrypha. All right. Now we're going to get the Lord's Prayer. Salakia. The book of Esther is in the Old Testament. Salakia. I said the Apocrypha. I'm so sorry. Salakia. But now we're going to get the Lord's Prayer. Imagine, which means to stand. We're going to face the east, and that right there would be right in front of me. All right. So the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Moakwaka, Thaba'a, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Nathan Manawam, Akam, Call Yawam, Wasalak Yanawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Kasalak Yanawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Wara'a, Thaba'ainawa, Banasanawam, Bar, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwat, Wahala, Wataparat, La Walaranyam Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, that will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. All right. I want to give a courtesy salute to the brothers that was in attendance. And Israel, Majid Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah, Yad Yematah. Okay. Sorry, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Majid Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh Shema Latah Shem Yahushua, Yad Yematah. All right, dismissed. The water for tuning in.